Carter told Deacon that he was the first man to hurt Hope to abandon her, and that's when he struck a nerve. Then here come Daphne. I said, now it's not the time, Daphne. Now it's not the time. But hey, y'all. Welcome back to another review of Life and Chess for the Bold and Beautiful April 8, 2025. Okay, y'all, so first things first, let me know y'all thoughts on today's episode down below. So we're going to start with Liam and Steffi. So it's the aftermath of him waking up, and they trying to get him to tell them, do he remember what happened? How did he get there? He didn't even know he was in the hospital. Now, for a second, when she brought up Kelly and Beth, and he made this face, I was like, he not going to remember them. Now, I'm wondering if they actually finna do the storyline about, how people been saying that he going to think Steffi's still his wife. Because he was like, did the hospital call you, when they have you as the emergency contact or something like that? That's when they call you or whatever. Something like he think that they still married. But he remembered Kelly and Belle from what it looked like. I don't know yet until tomorrow's episode. They over here doing absolutely nothing. I said the highlight of the episode was just Deacon and Carter fighting. And even there we didn't really see much. They just over here punching each other. I said, look at Carter. But we're going to get to that in a minute. But yeah, and she still ain't called her husband. But yeah, like I said, they filling him in. Steffi saying how glad she is that he's okay. She don't know what she would have did without him and all this other extra stuff. And Dr. Buckingham just telling him he has a brain injury. And once again, they trying to find out what happened. And the way Steffi was asking him and how they filmed that whole little scene, I'm like, okay, so it's a lot of things that could happen. Well, a few things that could happen from this. Either he gonna have memory loss and he don't remember that he not married to her, or he's gonna think that Bill did that to him. And I'm still disappointed in this storyline, because if he just left, Bill just left, and he said, when I get back, you better be gone or whatever, you better not be here. He should have been came back by now. Shoot, Finn don't went to work and everything. We still no Bill. He should have came to the house. He should have seen the blood on the ground, then seen the blood in the house, and he should have came to the hospital. Steffi should have called Finn. Some type of progression, but no. But yeah, that's all. They was just asking him if he remember what happened. He doesn't remember from what it looked like, because he didn't even know he was in the hospital. He did ask if Kelly seen him. So I'm assuming he don't even remember, that he was at Bill's house, because they had to tell him that. Finally. So he was still wondering where she is and why she hasn't reached out. She done had plenty of opportunity to take out her phone and text him or something. I don't care. She had plenty of opportunity to text her husband, especially when her daughter's concerned. Especially when her daughter is supposed to be meeting up with her daddy or whatever. I said, look, she had plenty of time to text this man, call this man, something. But yeah, she just was in shock. I'm going to say she was in shock and just dealing with the fact that Liam in the hospital and all this other stuff. But even when he went to surgery, because they don't allow you in then, she had plenty of time to text this man. Finn, pack your bags, buddy. But yeah, Finn was wondering where she is and why she hasn't reached out. Lee ends up coming in. I thought she knew something, but no. Nobody know nothing yet. But yeah, so they was just talking about Kelly and the father-daughter dance, and Leon wasn't missing for the world, and just talk about the relationship Kelly has with her parents, and she loves both of them and all this stuff. And I think he got a text message or something, and he was hoping that it was Steffi, but it was not her. But yeah, that's all they was talking about. Riz and they Daphne. With them, they were still talking about the same thing too, about hope. Then they were saying, I think first Ridge was saying, it's not about you. It wasn't about you or whatever. And he was like, they was just talking about hope for the future and the fact that it was canceled. Somebody, it was about hope and all this other stuff. And everybody keeps saying on both sides, it's not personal. You over here acting on personal interest. It's business. But how everybody been acting, it has not been business whatsoever. But yeah, then they were speaking on the fact that Hope has brought a lot of good to the company and everything that she's done. He was like, I hate to say this, I hope I don't sound ridiculous, but I feel bad for her. I feel for her. She was the only one to get punished. And I was like, true that. She was definitely the only one to get punished. And she was saying, Ridge was saying something about he's starting to sound like Hope or whatever, not Hope, sound like Brooke, defending Hope and stuff like that. He was like, I'm not defending her, but she is the only one that got punished. He was saying the difference is Carter actually regrets what he did, and then here come Daphne. Here she goes, talking about something. Yeah, I don't think it's a loss. What you still doing there? Go home. Your job is done. You go get exposed. Somebody gonna expose you. Somebody said, I don't think it's a loss that Hope's gone or whatever. Talking about the hands of COO and all this other extra stuff. Wait till you find out what you done did, sweetheart. But yeah, that's all they was talking about. I thought that they always Excuse me. I thought that they always gonna hear these folks over here fighting and run across the hall or something. Brooke and Hope. So with them, I think first they showed Brooke she was still trying to contact Hope or whatever. And then Hope walked through the door. I said, y'all know how people, I know y'all, somebody done experience how people just gotta let you know or show you that they upset with you. Cause why wouldn't she just go to the cabin? Duh. You been at the cabin. I was like, you gotta come there to let her know you still upset with her. Make it make sense. She over here talking about some, I think Brooke asked her what she was at. She was like, I was with my father or whatever. The only, I don't know, she said the only one that support her or had her back or something like that. Brooke over here talking about something. I'm glad of that or whatever, but I support you too. That's why I went to Ridge or whatever. Talking about she went on her behalf, trying to get him to see that she deserved her job back and all this extra stuff. She still talking about the betrayal. And Brooke trying to tell her that Carter and her was speaking on her behalf. And she was like, tell him to stop. Tell him to stop. He ain't do it when I wanted him to do it. He ain't speak up for me when it mattered or whatever. I was like, girl, please. You just once again, you don't prove these folks right. But yeah, then she started bringing up once again that he cheated on her. He did though. That I said, but you weren't studying that when y'all was in charge of the company though. You put what's the name, Daphne on notice, didn't you? But yeah, now she's speaking more and more about it. But Hope's still over here speaking in past tense, y'all. She talking about loved him. Loved, as in past, as in no more. As in no more. But yeah, Brooke was like, he does love you, honey. She always, honey. He does love you, honey. And all this other stuff. She was like, she don't think Carter meant any of what he said and all this other stuff. And I was like, girl, just say you didn't want the man. Now, if you was going to leave him because he over here kissing another woman. And he didn't tell her to leave. Now that, yeah, okay, we done. It's over with. But you didn't do that because of that. You never wanted him. That's what it looked like. That's definitely what it looked like. But yeah, and lastly we got Carter and Deacon. So Deacon done took his tail over here to these folks' establishment or whatever. I was like, okay, now where is this energy? All these folks don't sit up here, as you said, they don't hurt her and all this other stuff, and you sick of this and all that. You should be throwing hands with everybody then. You should be fighting everybody. You should go across the hall and get Ridge next. But yeah, he told Carter, you disrespected Hope, which means you disrespected me, and you not gonna get away with it. Just talking to us. I said, okay, big bad wolf. okay. But yeah, what else he said? He was just yelling and stuff. His voice got deep. Every time they yell, their voice get deep, ain't it? He started yelling at Carter and stuff like that. First, Carter was trying to explain himself and everything, but then he was like attacking him, talking about he the worst of all. I said, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I said, you're taking it too far now. I wouldn't say Carter is the worst she's ever had. But yeah, I don't know what led, I don't know if it was that part. It was something that led Carter to say, you was the first man to hurt her and abandon her or whatever. And the next thing you know, he kicked him in the knee or karate chop, whatever it's called. He kicked him, hit him or whatever. Then he hit him in the face. He had a cut. What he said, ouch or something he said. Next thing you know, Carter just, doop. It didn't went off. It went off the, to commercials. Then next thing you know, Carter's like, doop, doop, doop. I was like, that's the boy. I said, that's the boy. There you go, boy. There you go, man. He like, doop, doop, doop. I said, look, I wasn't expecting him to get that many licks in. I'll be over here trying to demonstrate to y'all stuff. But yeah, then here comes Daphne. I'll say the worst timing ever. What you? Here she come. Oh, what is going on? Who is this? He was like, this Deacon Sharp host dad. And she was like, you over here trying to defend her honor? Let me help you. She ain't got none. And he was like, charming or whatever. What? No, what? Deacon said, is this the nose? She done took her tail up over here. Girl, please. They could have had anybody come in but her. Talking about something, you here to defend her honor? She ain't got none. I was like, you ain't either. You ain't either. That's what I be talking about. I told y'all. They always be over here, you this, you that. But you knew he was in a relationship and you still kissed him. And you feel like it's justified because of everything that Steffi told you. But yeah, that's it. That's all, y'all. Let me know y'all thoughts down below. Stay tuned for the next video. Until next time, deuces. Have a great rest of the day. Be safe.